This is a trade recap for the ES and Euro Runner trading systems for August the 8th, 2012. With it being the second week of August, and it's summertime for many European traders as well as US, we have our days where we have some good profits. We have our days where things are slower, and either small losses or small profits. This morning was a good example of that on the ES. The pre-market, using 3 o'clock as our starting point for taking profit, looking out in the first 15 minutes of any markets open to see if there is erratic price action. If price action is going up and down, don't take trades in the first 15 minutes. If price action is not going up and down with big candles, look for a trade and take it in the first 15 minutes. This morning at 3 o'clock, there was no trades early on. There was a trade here. Let me get my cursor to give the timestamps. There was a trade here at 5:20, but we had a 5:30 news event. Large impact, so no trades within 30 minutes of that in pre-market, no trades within these events within 15 minutes during the regular trading session. We also have a 6 o'clock release. That's a medium impact, not as impactful in the market, but still something to be wary of, and not best to take a trade just before that. If you're already in a trade that's prior to that event, more than 15 or 30 minutes, then you can look to take your trade to break even before the medium event news release comes out. But this morning, this sprint here wasn't to be taken at 5:20. The news release came out at 5:30 right here. Actually didn't really cause much of a reaction in the market. Next, we had a long here at 6:30, cautionary trade because the previous trade had gone more than 5 points in distance. Take half your position size, using again smallest accounts for gauging the profit. We use 2 contracts for primary entry, 1 contract for a scalp or sprint. For that matter, things called a twin trade or a bounce as well. And 1 contract for the cautionary, which would be half of the primary entry 2 contracts. Here the 1 contract entered, 94.75, exited the first. When you have the 2 aqua triangles, it tells you it's a warning and to exit if you look down in the SSI and find any down arrows during that 5 periods. Any arrows against you, you're in an up direction, you're in a long. If you find down arrows and an aqua triangle, 2 aqua triangles together, you exit at the first open of that candle. This lost 5 ticks. Going forward here, we had an 8:30 news event for the US. No trades to be taken at 8:15. As you can see here at 8:30, the candle gapped up a little bit, shot up and went down. There was erratic price action around the 8:30 release. Not enough time to make any profit at 8:15 when you have to get out of a trade just before news at 8:30. Here we go to the market open. Switch to 2 minutes. The market open. We had 1, 2, 3, 4 candles here. As you can see, prices were pretty much stable. It wasn't a great looking market open, meaning that there were not 4 consecutive bull candles or 4 consecutive bear candles, but it wasn't a big bear candle and a big bull candle and a big bear candle. It wasn't up and down price action. It was really a combination of 3 dojis and then 1 bull candle right here, which had a lot of buyers in it in order for the system to generate a long. The traders who took this entry at 92.25, which was right in here, it quickly went up to 8 ticks of profit, as well as created a runner trade. This was a very fast moving trade. This trade happened very quickly. I don't know if many traders got into it because by the time the system gave the entry at 92.75, within about 30 seconds prices were already moving up. For traders that missed the entry, they can always take the first scalp number and make that their primary entry. They could have gotten in here, for example, and then from there prices never really went against them and gradually did go up, and they would have made 2 points there. But I'm using this trade because, you know, a number of traders would have taken this entry. If they're watching the system, listening to audio alerts, they would have taken the entry and seen the price and jumped on this. Now, again, being in the first 15 minutes the market's open, we gauge the price action to see, again, if it's orderly. We gauge the price action to make sure it's not erratic, that it's not, again, huge candles up and down. And this wasn't a great looking initial price action set up before the trade, but it wasn't bad looking either. There are many mornings when the market opens where you'll get a big bull candle that goes up 3 points, and then a bear candle that goes down 4 points, and a bull candle that goes up 3 points. Trades like that, no. But these small dojis and one really strong bull candle that had all the buyers in it, it's fine. So this trade here made 2, and then the scalp here on entry on exit of the aqua triangle lost 3 ticks. The sprint exit here, entry here, exit here in the aqua triangle lost 3 ticks. This sprint here was a trade that I told the room, take it, and if when you go up above these highs of the day, right here and a tick or 2 above it, take your stop loss to break even when you get up to the prices a couple of ticks above these highs. That eventually happened right here. But at that point, when they hit those highs, they kept going. So that trade was one that traders who took it and held on to it, because it met all the rules for a scalp, a sprint that is. It just has to be, when you're going up against daily highs, and this was actually yesterday's close, you just got to be careful and bring your stop immediately to break even when you go up there and hit the price points just above here. Within a couple of ticks above these price points are where a lot of sellers can be. And I instructed the room to take the entry, move up the stop loss to break even once we got a couple ticks above these highs, which we were right here. And as you can see, prices shot up and never looked back. For traders that didn't take that trade, this other scalp that came in, which was an intra-series scalp that fit the rules for intra-series, I told the room who didn't take that trade to definitely take this one, this 2 right here. That made 8 ticks. So the sprint made 10, the scalp take profit is 8, and that made, so either one of these 2 trades made 8 to 10 ticks. All these other scalps don't fit the intra-series rules, so therefore they're not taken by the rookie trader. The runner from that initial entry back here was taken out of 15 ticks of profit right here. This was lunchtime, so no trades per the rookie trading rules during lunchtime. They typically don't follow through very much. This trade was inside the yellow, didn't print an R. When the open price of the candle that is after the system generates the trade long, the entry candle we call it. Of course, it's a simple name, entry candle. If that open price is not beyond the yellow line by at least 1 tick, don't take the trade. The R won't print. You need to be 1 tick beyond the yellow. Sometimes the R won't print when you are 1 tick beyond the yellow because the yellow may in fact be right on the open price and the yellow drops. So traders know to look out for that, but this wasn't a qualified trade to take long. This was a qualified short. It almost made the 2 points of profit. On a choppy day, we got very close. We made as much as 1.5. And that was exited here on the cross of the white line for a loss of 6 ticks on 2 contracts. And then at the end of the day, we had another trade that also got close to its way to 2 points, got up to about 1, and then fell off. And then at the end of the day at right here, at 358, the close and the open of these candles, we take out our trade. That lost 3 to 4 ticks from the entry price, which was actually 98.50, which was right here. So for the day, 7 ticks of profit, 1 3/4 points. So it was a kind of a choppy day, but still about 2 points were made from all the qualified entries. The pre-market lost a small amount. The regular trading session made about 2. The euro had actually, as it's been the case 3 days in a row now, that the ES has had small gains in the days with being choppy, and the euro's had some very nice gains. It's made up for the ES. And many times I keep mentioning in these videos to everybody that when one system doesn't make a lot, the other one tends to make up the slack. Here this morning, we go back to 2 a.m. We start taking trades from 2 a.m. We had our first confirmed long short here at 2:15. It made 20 pips on the first half of the position. Second half brought to break even, got stopped out here. This 3 was just before the 6 a.m. trade, 6 a.m. news release, not to be taken. This sprint was taken. Entry here, exit at the aqua triangle. It lost 3 pips, excuse me. This sprint here, great sprint. You had the SSI facing down. You had a couple of arrows in a row behind you. This was an outstanding sprint. These are the kind of sprints that make very quick profits and do very well. This sprint here had the SSI flat just before it and only turned down on the close of the sprint candle. So therefore the SSI was flat, not as strong as the SSI being down 2 or 3 periods before the sprint comes in. This many times makes for a great sprint versus a sprint that struggles. And then we have a long here at the end of the day. We take our trades out at 12 o'clock. So we had a long entry here. The exit at 11:55 would be 2 pips on the entire first and second half of the position. So that's 4 pips, plus 20 is 24, minus 3 is 21, plus the original 20 is 41 pips of profit today. Thanks very much. It is August. Things are slower right now. Please do contact me if you're looking for a very consistently successful system that's been making a lot of profits for a lot of my members for months now. Get ready for September, October, November, and December when volume picks up substantially, and there are much larger profits to be made during the fall. It is summertime, keep that in mind, yet still the systems are making consistent profit. When an example today again would be, or this week would be, when one is not making a lot, the ES has had some small profits this week. The euro is making quite a bit. So this week the euro's made 30, 35, and 41 pips, and the ES has made about 4 to 8 ticks a day. Thanks very much. Look forward to seeing you in the room. You can contact me at info@es-runner.com or at eric@advancedorderflowtrading.com. Eric@advancedorderflowtrading.com. Thanks very much.